Hi, everyone. This is Colette Marie Stefan, and you're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. We are live on Facebook, and we are also going to be on YouTube later. Hold on one second. I need my paper. I'm back. I'm really, really happy about today's show. I have a guest on that she's part of the Transformation Talk Radio I guess, community. And I watched her do her own radio show with a guest. And I thought, I've got to have this wonderful woman on my show. And I feel like it's just absolutely timely because we're sort of in right now in my part of Canada. Canada's a big country. We are opening up a little bit here as far as some businesses opening, etc. And Julie is our guest, and so we're going to be talking about energizing your financial potential during challenging times such as these. And so in this episode, Julie Steelman is going to dive into the eye of the storm about how money and finances are greatly misunderstood in volatile times. We need you now. So, we're going to talk about how you want to consider how you might pivot and rewrite your money story to move out of stress. That sounds good. And into financial power. So we want to discover the energetic laws of flow and how you can become a more empowered co-creator and have access to your full financial potential. I just love this. I'm so excited to have you on the show, Julie. I'm just going to read a little bit about Julie, and then we're just going to dive right into the storm, like you said, and how timely to have someone to really guide us a little bit as to what to do at this time. So Julie earned her way out of the corporate world at the age of 47, but her journey to financial success started 30 years earlier when she was a young child watching, I love this, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom every Sunday
Only if
night.
you're old enough to know what that is.
I love it. I was busy watching Kung Fu. And then I
Yeah,
ended up
same.
being mentored by the technical advisor for that show
Wow.
40 years later. So it's kind of interesting, or 30 years later, sorry. So, you have a lot of experience in the corporate world. I just want to finish reading your bio just because so that people understand that, we have a real expert here who can really, who has a wealth of information and experience to share with us as to what we could do now with our finances as we move from this, from the isolation as some people are moving into a different way in the economy. So she had her defining moment when she began to listen to her own wild instinct. And that instinct carried her through over 25 years in corporate America and generating over $100 million in revenue. So today she is a wealth and cash flow creation coach with many credentials under her belt. And she is also a certified feminine power coach, keynote speaker, podcaster, holds a master's degree in spiritual psychology, and had a 25-year career in global iconic corporate brand sales. And so she authored a highly praised book. And I'm going to have you tell us about your book because my cat knocked my other piece of paper with the last paragraph. And it's about 4 feet from here. I can't reach it.
Don't you love when they get involved? They seem to be interacting. Yeah, I wrote a book called The Effortless Yes. It's about demystifying sales and selling for women, especially. I've had men read it and they love it too. It's about discovering your selling archetype and finding the languaging that works for you and feels authentic.
Lovely. So, we already do have some people calling in, but I'm going to give you this first 15 minutes before we go to the first break to really,
Okay.
I just really want to dive into this because we have a lot of people with a lot of concerns right now. And
Oh yeah.
A lot of it feels like, people were worried about their health, etc. But now and during this whole time, a lot of people have also been very concerned about their financial health and have suffered loss or whatever. So just dive in.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want us to know.
Well, I think that everything is related, right? I think that money in the current paradigm in which we live is part of our well-being. And so is our physical body health, but so is our livelihood. And the way that we exchange currency to get services or to get products or to get things taken care of is by using money. And that's the currency that we have, today in this paradigm. That's what we're working with. And so, there's a lot of judgments and impositions and ideas and assumptions about money that have nothing to do with and are very emotionally driven. And so, that gets people involved in a particular story or common narrative in their families and in their own world about their relationship with money, with finances, wealth, all of that. And at a time like this in the world, when we have a global pandemic going on, there's it's a humongous disruption, and I think it's intentional on purpose. And I have a lot to say about that. But that aside, what it does is it blows up our baseline. The way in which we've lived, the way in which we've assumed our days will go on, that the regular deposits into our bank account, or we have a business, say we have a storefront, or a friend of mine owns a spa and she hasn't been able to do business for 8 weeks now, right?
Mhm.
It's just done. It's over. It's like closed, nothing happens. And that's reliant on people walking through the door. If we can't be in contact with people, there's no business model there, right? And
Yeah.
so it's real. So what it's done is it's completely shifted and blown up our baseline. So that set of expectations about how we know to live, how we know money's coming in, where it's coming from, all of that has been blown up. No one is exempt from this. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. I don't care what your net worth
Yeah.
is. No one's exempt from this. No one. And so that's one thing to know, is that we're really all in this together in a new kind of way that isn't just rhetoric anymore. It's actually real. But the thing is that that can happen to us at any point in our lives.
Hmm.
It's not just the global pandemic. You can have a business challenge. You can have a challenge in your community, you have a personal challenge. 8 years ago, my husband died extremely suddenly, extremely unexpectedly. I was already financially prepared because as a little kid, I didn't ever want to ever be beholden to a circumstance, place, person, or thing financially. I wanted immunity a bit from all of that, right? And that's
Hmm.
what, to me, financial freedom is about,
Hmm.
is creating more than enough money from whatever it is that you do or however it is you get paid, that you do it in a way that you're conscious about your future. Because in the financial market, they call it a black swan. When something erratic happens in the stock market, it does this dramatic crash. In the
Hmm.
US, we've seen it go minus 3,000 plus, 2,000 minus 300 plus 600.
Yeah.
It's like this, it's normal right now. And paying attention to it will probably make you seasick. But it always, at the end of the day, one of the great misunderstandings is watching something. It's like watching a bug crawl, like inch by inch, knowing he's getting nowhere, right? But if you
Like a
if you leave him for
snail.
10 minutes and come back, he's on the other side of the room. And
Yeah.
so the thing to pay attention to is trends, not these, erratic moments that create these crazy fluctuations. And so that's one of
Hmm.
the understandings about flow and about money, is that it doesn't stop. There's more than enough money on the planet for everyone to have more than enough money. What we need to do is get out of our own way about why we don't have more than enough. And there's a lot of reasons that that could be. But what this pandemic has done is shaken us out of autopilot. And we've been on autopilot about our lives. We've been on autopilot about our money. We've been on autopilot about a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
And it's really disrupted that whole, you don't get to be on autopilot anymore. And
It's like
really, I
learning
think,
how to drive all over again. You know, when you first
right.
start learning how to drive,
Yeah.
it's so complicated and everything. And just
Yeah.
going out of the house now feels complicated.
It's
You know?
overwhelming. Yeah. And actually, yesterday I was out for a while and I had to wear a mask because I was engaging with medical professionals who required it. I came to a point where I was like, I have to actually go outside. I need some air because it's a difference in how much oxygen you get. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm going to pass out. I need to go out and get some air, be away from people, and take off a mask. I don't really want to wear one, but I'm respecting what other people want.
Mhm.
So I think at this time,
Don't get me started on masks
I
because
know,
when my when
I know.
my when
Oh,
my dad was he collapsed, and
oh
overnight
my
within a
gosh.
36-hour period he
Oh,
was totally paralyzed from head to toe, and he had Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is caused a lot of the time by the flu shot. And
yep.
so this man had to learn how to do everything all over again. He was intubated, he was on life support for 4 years, like, I mean, and he had his own business. He was an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and he ran his business. He could only blink his one eye, and he blinked his eye and ran his business for a year until he went bankrupt doing it that way. But and I wrote a short story about that, about his journey through that
Yeah.
process. And we were, because he was in the hospital and he caught MRSA while he was in the hospital. That's a serious antibiotic resistant virus. We had to mask, gown, glove, and the whole time we were sitting with him, and the doctors and the nurses all had to do that, and everything had to be cleaned before and after. And so it really, really complicated the care.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
they'd send us home and we wouldn't use mask, gown, gloves. And then we go back and take them back. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, the mask thing, there's some controversy whether or not the masks that people are using actually work anyway. But we're not going to get too much into that mask energy, because what we want to talk about is what happens after this. And so we're going to be right back after a short break. This is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny. We have Julie Steelman here. She's going to guide us when we come back. Call in 1-800-930-2819. See you in a few minutes. Hi, this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. And we're also live on Facebook today, and we'll be on YouTube later. And I have a fellow host, colleague from Transformation Talk Radio. I saw her doing an interview on her show and said, I have to have her on this show. And we're talking about, what to do in these financial times. Okay, so like, and Julie has a lot of credentials here. Julie, I just want you to share your contact information with people, and I know you had a gift that you were going to share, and then we will take the first caller, Zach, and then we'll talk some more about money and how to make more.
That's right. How to have more. Well, I'm Julie Steelman. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/julie.steelman. You can also email support@juliesteelman.com. That's STEELMAN.com. Website, juliesteelman.com. And if you want to work through this time, because we were talking about before the break about how this all shifted our baseline, and that the opportunity here is to really change your money story and to get intentional about what you do want to create, what you do want to experience, and use this time to get clear about that. I actually have a free gift for you. It's called Money Story Breakthrough. And if you go to www, you have to spin the W's, I'm sorry, www.moneystorybreakthrough.com. There's a little video and a free download that's perfect for intention setting and clearing out money stories and money blocks when you're in the middle of it, right?
Mm-hmm. And I love this because, my thing is I identify and eliminate hidden energetic blocks. And what I find is a
Yeah.
lot of the money story blocks come
Yeah.
from like our subconscious mind from when we were growing up, from our parents and our
Oh,
grandparents
yeah.
and their experiences. And so, I love this idea of how you talk about having a baseline,
Yeah.
and let's change the baseline and make it even better than the one that you had before.
Yeah.
Like I just worked with a client 2 days or 3 days ago that he was a I've got a cricket in the room here. That he was he's a contractor and he has a house for sale, and he was like, oh, nervous to put it on the market, and boom,
Yeah.
we worked on it, and within 24 hours he has a solid offer on his house.
Yeah.
So there is some movement there. We do have a caller I'm going to take from Zach, who's been patiently waiting, and then Julie, we're going to get you to talk about money, and I'm going to shift whatever if there is an energetic shift someone wants. Zach, can you please, who do we have here?
We have Karen from Edmonton. Karen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Karen.
Hi,
can
ladies.
we do for... Hi.
Hi.
What
Can
can
you
we
hear
do
me?
for you today?
My friend Barb Lee suggested that I call and ask for your assistance.
Okay, what's going on?
My mom is in intensive care with an aortic dissection.
Okay. And
So,
is she... go ahead.
There's an echo on this line. Sorry.
That's okay. That's normal for internet. So it's okay. Just we can pause and wait. Your mom's you're at the hospital with your mom now?
Yes, I'm not in the same room. I came to get some privacy.
Okay. All right. And so what are, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being I'm freaking out because it's really, really bad, and 0 being, I'm totally neutral, I'm calm, I know she's going to be fine. Where are you on that scale?
Well, I'm not freaking out. I'm certain she's not going to be fine, but I want to be able to get her help to be in a place that she can go if she needs to go.
Okay. I'm getting your way past a 10. I'm just going to let you sit quiet now, and you don't need to give me any more information. I'm going to work on your mom and on you in the background, and I'm going to get Julie to continue talking about this baseline. And this is also, I just want to let everybody know when we're in a situation like this, what I'm going to be doing is energetically just shifting her mom to be able to be strong to all her choices and to get her as stable as I can in where she's going. I just want to ask one question from you before we turn this back over. Is your mom, what are the doctors saying?
They're saying that this aorta may heal itself, but chances are she won't survive this. The issue is that my mom and my friend Barb told me to mention that, it's been Mother's Day. My brother died 24 years ago yesterday. My birthday was on the 8th. She told me to mention that to you for when you're doing clearing.
Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, just hang in there, and we'll let you go quiet in the background. And if you want to, we're going to get Julie to talk about this baseline. And I already am on this. I already feel it shifting.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Julie.
So Karen, and anybody else who's in these kind of situations, we're just going to send you light anytime we hear of it immediately to you and all those concerned. And, this is an example of, it doesn't have to be a pandemic. It can be a parent or somebody in the hospital. And so I just want to sort of normalize and minimize what's happening in the world is happening, but we also have those things happen to us individually or within our family structures. And so what we want to do is think about how do we immunize ourselves or strengthen ourselves within our own knowing, right? And within our own faith systems and within our own inner belief systems. So when these things come, we can stay empowered, we can stay in our power. And so this pandemic comes along, and I know personally people who their businesses have absolutely gone from robust to 0 in a day. I have a friend in South Africa that happened to him, and I'm helping him with his business, and we've pivoted. And so, what you've got to do is really look at what's the opportunity here? Because as our baselines get blown up, our way of expecting the world to be gets shifted and changed without our choice. It can feel imposed upon us. You have to let that go as though you're a victim of something and instead move into acceptance and opportunity. And so if you could have it any way you wanted it to be, what would you have your money story be? What would you have your money experience be? If you're in business and everything changed, what is it that you do really well? What is it that your customers love about what you do? What's the new high demand offer, right? What's the new thing that's in demand? Because what this has done is it's blown up their baseline too. And so it's shifted what they need too. So what's their new backyard problem that you can address today that wasn't their backyard problem before this? And this is a skill set you're going to need throughout your entire life. You know, and it's money on the planet doesn't just go away in a day. And yet be careful about buying into groupthink about things, because that's typically oriented around fear and scarcity and lack. And this is where you have to develop, stop referencing and looking outside yourself about the engaging information and gathering evidence about what's happening with money outside yourself, and instead tune in inside and find out what you really think and what you really know. If you go to that pure place, you know, where you can filter out what your dad said about money, what your mom said about money, what your family modeled about money, you know, the experience that you had as a child, what's going on in your business, and like really step into a more conscious, intentional, intuitive knowing. I did that at 7 years old. I said, I'm going to Africa before I die. It put me on a golden through line. I couldn't have told you that until today, when I can look back and tell you what happened. But what I can tell you is I trusted an instinct. Trust your own instincts and really know the difference between what's a real instinct and what's more, you know, crap and bullshit from the outside world that's being imposed upon you. Because really, that's the virus around currency. That's the virus around money. That's the epidemic, is buying into what everybody else thinks about it. Get really clear about what you think about it and align with that. Create your new baseline. That's what this opportunity is about, is to get intentional about what you want and creating a neuron pathway and a new lifestyle that reflects your new truth.
I just love that. And it may seem really weird to people that on one side here we have a woman whose mom is like in a battle for her very existence, her very survival. Yeah. That is life and death. Money is more lifestyle. And it can be life and death also, of course. Of course it can, and it is. But what I'm saying is that if a person is making a transition,
yes,
and they're making that decision, a lot of people right now, because they are in this position, and I found this before the real panic hit, is that a lot of people, just because the astrological influences,
yes,
were already headed towards this direction, where they were changing their identity and changing the way they were doing things and thinking about themselves, etc. And so if you think about birth and death as both as transition, then what we're doing here is we're birthing, and people, you know, get upset at the words the new normal, and they say, well, there's nothing normal about this, but there is. This is our new normal. We wake up in the morning and this is what it's like right now. And it has been this way. We're just more aware now. Wouldn't you say?
I would totally agree with that. And I think that our inner well-being is life and death. It is our most valuable currency. So it's very relative to someone lying in a hospital fighting for her life, and a daughter very concerned about her mother and what that's going to mean. And the more that money's just the bucket that I talk through, but at the end of the day, we're co-creative beings, and we've forgotten that. And this pandemic has said, you're done living off an assumptive role of a baseline. And now you need to pay attention and be present every moment. So what are you going to do with that to write your script? How are you going to access your own inner authority and your own, so you have your own sovereignty in your own domain, regardless of nut cases in the White House or people on Twitter or whatever is going on out in the world. You start to strengthen yourself and immunize yourself, being so dramatically impacted and fluctuated by what's happening in the world. That's your best currency you will ever have. And if I'm lying in a hospital bed with a heart problem, I want to know that I've got an inner strength and that I've got an ability to co-create. That's what I'm talking about. If that makes, I'm really shortcutting what I'm saying, but if that makes sense.
No, it's beautiful for, especially at this exact time. I just would like to check in with Karen here. And Karen, just, are you there?
Karen, are you still on the line?
Oh, we may have lost her, but
May have lost her.
Oh, is she back?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So what I wanted to say is what I was energetically shifting in the background while you were talking is about this survival thing. And because so many people are in survival and just the information she gave regarding Mother's Day, I just want to let everybody know right now. Zach, how close are we to the break?
3 minutes.
Okay, cool. So Mother's Day is very loaded, okay? It's full of emotion. And the card that I chose from my deck for this week basically is the Drama Queen card, because we are all traumatized right now. We have had, like you said, our baseline taken from us. Yeah. And a lot of people have kicked into survival mode. And what I was strengthening, that has a tendency to affect the base chakra, which is about our attitude and survival. So I'm strengthening all the systems in Karen's mom's body to work towards supporting her heart, and also opening her heart up to being okay with what's going on. There's kind of like a feeling for some people right now of, just stop the world and let me off. I've had enough.
Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down here.
and with her son having passed.
Oh, yeah.
At the same anniversary, it's very profound. I have Mother's Day for me is very profound because my first baby, my oldest daughter, it's her birthday today actually, and she was born on Mother's Day, and she was born also and after having a baby for your first Mother's Day. It's hard to top that. And so and it just so also happens to be the day that I purchased this property 7 years ago and moved here. And I think about it and it just seems surreal to me now. And to be in that I've actually even been here this long. And so that's something when we come back, Julie, I really would like to talk to you, and we have some other callers here who are on the line, but I would really like to find out from you, how is it that we can, and I know you generously offered that program that you have to work through your money story, but how, I would like just some basic ideas maybe of how some of us could decide we're going to carry ourselves through this as it hits, because have you noticed how fast everything is happening? Mm-hmm. It's just so fast. And so we want to make sure when things turn around again in a different way again, that we're well prepared. This is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. I wanted to say, Karen, if you want to call back in, do call back in. We'd like to see how you're doing. And you can reach me at info@thetruthisfunny.com and just let me know how your mom is doing. We'll be right back after this short break. 1-800-930-2819. Call in if you would like some shift to happen. Hi, this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. We're also live on Facebook, and we'll be on YouTube later. And I have Julie Steelman on the show with me. I just wanted to mention that right now, I just finished doing a video, and it is about, I call it our current situation, which I am going to talk about in 2 weeks when I have the Tales from the Vector radio show, when I share my cards. And I'll get into that a little bit in that next show in 2 weeks. But this is something that Julie and I were talking about, and we were thinking that we would like to kind of talk about, maybe some of the thoughts around what's changed and what is going to go on. We just want to check in for Zach here with Karen, because we have her back on. We just want to see what's going on with you, Karen.
Yes, we have Karen from Edmonton back on the line.
Hey, Karen.
Hello. Hi, girls.
Hi.
So I just wanted to check in with you. How are you doing right now?
I feel a lot more calm.
Yeah.
I came back into the room. I got cut off, and I just thought it was over. So I just came back in the room. Barb had sent me a message that could call you back, but there was a cord that isn't attached to my mom, isn't attached to the bed, isn't near a vent, and it was just swinging.
Okay,
really cool.
There you go. So you feel free to contact me. I'm glad I could feel your mom and the whole situation. So we're just gonna wrap you up in a nice little bubble here, you and your mom, and just send you a whole bunch of big energetic hug and a lot of love. And as I said, feel free to get in touch with me. Zach,
I would like to do that, Julie. But if you wouldn't mind if I asked you a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So I have told my mom that she's okay to go. She's still a little bit scared because she gets confused, and she's a little confused because of the meds, the painkiller. Mm-hmm. But that's all I can do, right? Is just tell her that it's okay if she goes.
You can sit with her, and what I've strengthened is for her to be aware of her choices. So she wants to be able to be calm and in her center. And that's what I was working on. And I'm also working, I have a chakra protocol that I developed when my mom was making her transition. And I'm just kind of putting that into automatic. So we'll get back to, you can, get in touch with me, and, just sending you a beautiful big hug and lots and lots of love to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're very welcome. Lots and lots of love. Okay. I wanted to let people know, so I have put out this protocol that is for our current situation, which also includes some for health, some energetic shifts. So protocol is just when the energetic shifts I'm doing behind as I'm speaking. And I did a little cartoon to make it more fun with Dick and Jane. So that is going out when you sign up for my newsletter at thetruthisfunny.com. That's going to automatically be what you get as your gift now. We changed it from the affirmations of success. And also, if you are already on my newsletter list, don't worry, we're sending that out in the newsletter. And it's just a protocol I put together. It's around 45 minutes, it turned out, because I'm energetically shifting the actual physical body, and also just sharing a bit of knowledge that people, I find when people have a bit better understanding, then they feel more comfortable. So Zach, who do we have that's been waiting so patiently from California? And then we're going to get Julie to finish telling us about this baseline.
Yeah, we have Marie from California. Are you there, Marie?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Oh, good. You know each
Okay.
other.
So, hi, Colette.
Hi.
So, let me just tell you, I thought I was calling just to listen to the radio station and didn't realize that I was actually going to be waiting to talk. But as I was listening to you guys, I realized that I was drawn to this. Things happen for a reason. And so, so here I am, and so I do have something to share. So as I am in the process of manifesting my last segment of my life here, as I'm approaching retirement and doing all these things, something happened yesterday that I was given a gift that was an object of desire from many others within the family unit, the large family unit. And this gift was a vehicle, which I'm actually in need of as my car is approaching
Retirement.
the end of its life. Yeah.
And so what would you like us to shift around that?
Well, what I'd like to shift around is that as I let one of the family members know about it, there's jealousy. There's a huge jealousy, and my excitement and my happiness for what is happening in my life just took a complete flip, and I've done this before where other people's unhappinesses affect me so deeply that I want to learn to be able to shift.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get Julie to talk about this, because this is beautiful. This is exactly what we're talking about, Julie. You go ahead. I just want to get a number from you, a baseline. 10 being hair on fire, press the panic button. 0 being, it'll be okay. Too bad if they're jealous of me. I'm the queen. Where are you on that scale?
I have it on my vision board that I'm a queen. That's what I envision myself as a queen. So it's funny that you use that terminology.
It came up. It just came up. So what number are you at as far as them feeling jealous about you? 10 being I can't stand it, and 0 being I could care less.
I'm probably with this particular person. I'll just say.
Yeah, just give us a number, please, just so that we can get it.
5.
Yeah, a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're caught in the middle, and I'm going to work on that. Okay, the reason why is because we're running out of time, and I really want everybody to hear what Julie has to share about this baseline thing, because I get it's huge for everybody.
Yeah, I think what Marie's bringing forward is one of those things that has us go on autopilot and has us want a baseline to feel comfortable about, which is pleasing others. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of us don't really tap into what we most yearn to create financially, because if we did, other people, other family members, or even at this object of desire, right? Same thing. It doesn't have to be about money. It can be about a house. It can be about a car. It can be about health. It can be about whatever. But if we get this thing, is there somebody in our circle of care and trust and love that will be displeased if we do? And so that's a big money story block. That's one of those things that blocks flow, is because it creates a competing intention, an intention to move forward financially or to get a new car. But then if I do that, so-and-so is going to get jealous. And so then those things cancel each other out. So nothing happens, right? That's one of the laws of blocking flow, is having a competing intention running. So Marie illustrated this for us beautifully.
Right? Right in the middle at a 5.
Right on time.
Yeah, and Zach, where are we time-wise?
We have about 5 minutes.
Oh, good. This is awesome. 5 minutes, and she's caught in the middle. I love this, Julie, because this is, like, for her right now, she is having to, this is a major block for a lot of people. What if I'm successful
Yes.
And people don't like me
And
anymore.
people don't like me anymore. And
Okay,
especially,
go for it, Julie.
especially with women. Oh my God, you cannot break out of the girlfriend pack, right? Like that's not allowed, you know? And it's like men are so great in this area because they look at this stuff as like a fact. You mean you closed $100,000 deal and they're like, woohoo, you know, elbow bump and drink a beer and it's all good, right? And a woman closed $100,000 deal and it's like, I can't tell my girlfriends. They're going to I'm going to get a bunch of crap for it, or they're going to be jealous, or they're going to think I'm too big for my britches or whatever, right? And like, here she's sitting in this glorious moment. She needs a car. She manifests an object of desire from her vision board. She should be able to celebrate that fully and then put on the brakes. So-and-so is going to be jealous.
And a car represents our ability to drive
Forward.
life, our vehicle.
How about moving
I think that this is amazing. I think you're an amazing manifester. That you manifested this car.
Yeah.
And I feel that that it's congratulations. You did the exact most perfect thing you could do. You phoned in to talk to people who are really happy for you. Congratulations on manifesting this car.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a very great analogy of any circumstances. Some people are thriving financially in this time because their business picked up because people are freaking out, right? And some people aren't. And it's like, here's the thing. Own and fully embrace and embody the prosperity that comes your way. Be very sensitive to other people's feelings and speak with them, but don't disown any of your power in regard to that. Right. And I think that's one of the pieces of advice I would give people right now is really take a look at what's your current situation. How are you doing? How much longer do you have? Some people's income has been completely cut off. Everybody's in a different circumstance. Understand and assess what your situation is. Understand and assess what you need for the next 30, 90, and the rest of the year. What do you need financially? And then get really clear. Here's the thing. Our wealth is based on our creativity. And that can never, ever, 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 ever be taken away from you by any person, government, by any pandemic or anything. Tune into that. And you'll find that through line like I did as a little kid. I've gone to Africa 11 times. I go once a year now. I can't not go. And I created financial freedom and retired at 47 because of that dream. So time to go back to your dream, assess what you need now, figure out how to integrate the dream into the opportunity that's opening up, and be kind of unapologetic about following through on it, and love everybody who may feel a little ruffled or rippled or unhappy that you manifested something, and tell them instead, turn it around and go, well, what's in your heart desire? And stop talking.
I love this. I'm crying because I swallowed my water wrong.
And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through it because I know we have only so much.
We only have 1 minute left. I think.
We're getting all choked up, Colette.
Actually, I swallowed my water wrong, and I'm trying not to cough because I don't want people to think I've got,
No, you're not sick. She doesn't have COVID, people. Let it go.
So we're at the end of the show. I want to thank you so much, Julie, for coming on.
My pleasure.
For calling in. And here, let me just take a breath. And thank you so much, Karen, for calling in at a time like where you are now. And we're sending a big energetic hug out to you. And thank you all for everyone who's listening. Thank you, Pat. And thank you, Julie, for your time and energy, and Zach for producing the show. I'm going to go and have a good cough now. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
Mwah.